Your heart is not just an organ, it's a living symbol of life, the pulse that echoes your presence, your resilience, your dreams. For years, we've been told that walking is the ultimate solution to heart and blood health. And yes, walking is great. But what if I told you that world-class heart surgeons, the ones who open chests and hold life in their hands, recommend 5 practices even more powerful than walking alone? What if you could unlock the true vitality of your heart and blood system without just sticking to long walks that often get skipped in our busy schedules? And because the truth is, walking is only one gear in a much more powerful engine. And that engine, if fully activated, can not only heal your heart, but strengthen it beyond what you ever believed possible. So if you're someone who has relied on the traditional advice of just walk more, this may be the moment your paradigm shifts forever. This may be the moment your heart starts its real recovery. So what are those 5 things? Before we list them like items on a chart, let's explore them the way a surgeon understands them. These are not hacks. These are principles, lifestyles, and once understood deeply, they become the force behind every healthy heartbeat you'll ever experience again. The first one is controlled breathing. Most people breathe to survive. Very few breathe to heal. Surgeons often say that the rhythm of the breath is directly tied to the rhythm of the heart. Deep, slow breathing stimulates the vagus nerve, a direct switch that calms your heart rate, balances blood pressure, and reduces inflammation. It's not just yoga, it's medical truth. The kind of truth that doesn't sell supplements but saves lives. Heart surgeons often tell patients recovering from heart attacks to adopt box breathing, inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold again for 4, and repeat. Why? Because it mimics the resting state of a strong heart. The slower your breath, the longer your life. But here's the most powerful part. Breathing isn't just a stress tool, it's a regeneration tool. Deep breathing while standing in the sun, even for just 10 minutes, allows your cells to exchange oxygen more efficiently, enhancing nitric oxide production, a molecule that opens up your blood vessels and improves circulation. That means more energy, better focus, and a heart that doesn't have to work so hard just to keep you alive. The second and perhaps the most underestimated is muscle resistance training. No, not bodybuilding. We're talking about resistance. Pushing, pulling, lifting your own body weight. Squats, push-ups, stretch bands, even simple wall sits. Here's what many people don't know. Your muscles act as glucose vacuums. When you train them, they absorb more sugar from the blood, reducing insulin resistance, one of the major silent killers of heart health. Surgeons who repair arteries always look for one thing post-surgery. Is the patient moving their muscles daily? Your heart is a muscle, yes, but it works in tandem with the rest of your body. If your legs, arms, and core are weak, your heart compensates. And compensation leads to strain. Resistance training just 20 minutes a day can reduce your resting heart rate, lower cholesterol, and even increase levels of HDL, the good cholesterol that clears away the bad. Walking is linear. Resistance training builds depth, and your heart feels the difference. The third and often neglected tool is hydration with minerals. We've been told to drink water, 8 glasses a day. That's good, but incomplete. Heart surgeons often insist that electrolytes matter more than just plain water. Why? Because your heart runs on electrical signals. Without sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium, your heart doesn't beat properly. You may be drinking enough water, but still feel tired, dizzy, or even anxious because your hydration is empty. Doctors say that just adding a pinch of Himalayan salt or using coconut water or electrolyte powders in your day can drastically change how your heart functions. Magnesium helps with over 300 biochemical functions, including regulating heart rhythm. If your heart skips beats, flutters, or races, you might not need medication, you might just need real hydration. Let's move to the fourth one that's quietly making its way into every major heart rehabilitation center: emotional regulation and forgiveness. Sounds too soft? Too spiritual? Not according to leading cardiothoracic surgeons. In fact, a growing body of evidence shows that unforgiveness and chronic anger increase cortisol, raise blood pressure, and damage artery walls over time. The American Heart Journal published studies confirming that patients who carried emotional trauma had more arterial blockages than those who processed pain and let go. Surgeons say that after every operation, the patients who recover fastest aren't just the ones with strong bodies, they're the ones with light hearts. The people who laugh more, cry freely, and hold no grudges. They sleep better, their blood pressure stays stable, and their heart beats with less friction. The cure for many heart problems isn't always in the pharmacy, it's in the heart itself. Forgiveness is medicine, and every breath you waste in anger is a beat you steal from your own heart. Finally, the fifth and the most powerful of all is intense moments of joy and purpose. Purpose, not steps. Laughter, not just laps. Heart surgeons often say, the heart responds to meaning. There are patients who survived heart attacks simply because they had someone to live for, something to return to, a dream left unfinished. The power of will can trigger the release of hormones like dopamine and oxytocin, which reduce heart strain, improve circulation, and accelerate healing. Let me share a story. One surgeon recounted a man in his 60s who had a triple bypass. During recovery, he showed little progress until one day his daughter brought in a letter. It read, "I want you to be there on my wedding day, Dad." The next day he sat up. He started walking. He smiled. And he lived to give that bride away. Because more than exercise, the heart needs a reason. You see, walking is beautiful, but it is not a complete strategy. These 5 things, deep breathing, resistance training, mineral hydration, emotional release, and joyful purpose, they are the foundation of real heart health. You don't need to run marathons. You need to feel alive. You don't need 10,000 steps. You need 10 deep reasons to live your life fully. And here's the part no one talks about: your environment. Heart surgeons often say that your environment is either a healer or a slow killer. The air you breathe, the light you wake up to, the stress you silently inhale when you walk into certain rooms, these things are as real to your heart as the food you eat. If your home is chaotic, your heart reflects it. If your friendships are toxic, your heart absorbs it. If your daily environment is void of peace, your blood carries that message. But when your surroundings are calm, filled with music that soothes, with voices that uplift, with spaces that let you breathe, your heart responds. It relaxes. It expands. It heals. You see, healing is not just physical. It's sensory. Your nervous system records every sound, every argument, every moment of peace, and your heart translates that into rhythm. The world you build around you either puts pressure on your arteries or peace in your veins. So ask yourself, is your environment fighting your healing? Now let's dive deeper. Many heart surgeons have come to a new realization that rest is not laziness, it's survival. Sleep, deep rest, and recovery phases are the only times your body repairs the damage done during the day. Most people sleep with noise, screens, lights, and internal chaos. That kind of sleep doesn't heal, it numbs. But real sleep, silent, dark, uninterrupted, it regenerates cells, balances hormones, and resets blood pressure. In fact, most cases of nighttime heart attacks are linked to poor sleep patterns and suppressed emotional stress. You may go to bed tired but carry the day's wounds with you. You toss, turn, and wake up more exhausted. That cycle damages your heart over time. Surgeons often recommend sleep hygiene, not a trend but a strategy. No screens an hour before sleep. No caffeine after 2 p.m. A room so dark your brain forgets the world and dives into healing. Because your heart deserves that break. And what about food? You've heard all the usual advice: less sugar, more greens, good fats, fewer carbs. But what if I told you that most heart surgeons say how you eat matters more than what you eat? Eating under stress spikes cortisol. Eating too fast confuses digestion. Eating while distracted often leads to overeating. Your heart doesn't just digest food, it digests the moment. That's why cultures that eat slowly, with community, with gratitude often have longer lifespans, despite not having perfect diets. One surgeon described it this way: a meal of bread and olives eaten with laughter is better for your heart than a 5-star meal eaten in silence and stress. Your heart feels your joy, and it pays the price for your tension. Now let's talk about motion, not just exercise, but natural daily motion: dancing, stretching, playing with children, gardening. These aren't labeled workouts, but they are heart miracles in disguise. They engage your entire cardiovascular system with ease, flow, and emotion. When was the last time you danced to music you love, alone in a room, not to lose calories, but to lose your fear? Motion like that doesn't just move blood, it moves the soul. And your heart knows the difference. You don't have to live in a gym, you have to live in motion. Regular, joyful, spontaneous movement keeps blood flowing, oxygen high, mood elevated, and heart valves active. Sedentary life is not just about sitting, it's about stagnant living. It's about losing the will to move because there's no reason to. Which brings us again to the core of this entire message. Reason. Your heart doesn't beat for exercise. It beats for life. It beats for that one moment when you hold someone you love, when you laugh until you cry, when you wake up with hope instead of dread. That's what makes a heart strong. Not the miles you walk, but the moments you feel, the memories you create, the joy you hold close. Most heart surgeons, the good ones, know this truth. They can operate, they can fix, they can bypass and repair, but they always say, what happens after surgery is up to the patient's will to live. A repaired heart needs a reason to keep beating. It needs love, it needs peace, it needs movement, it needs release. It needs deep breaths, good minerals, strong muscles, emotional freedom, and joyful mornings. So no, walking alone is not enough. You need to live deliberately. You need to breathe with purpose, move with grace, eat with presence, forgive like it's medicine, and build an environment that makes your heart thank you every single day. This world doesn't teach you that. It sells you pills. It sells you trackers. It tells you to count steps. But your heart doesn't count steps. It counts connection. It counts moments. It counts every time you looked up at the sky and smiled. Every time you hugged instead of argued. Every time you danced instead of scrolled. Every time you forgave instead of fought. The heart remembers. So if you want to heal it, don't just walk. Don't just move. Transform. Start today. Breathe slowly. Lift something heavy. Add minerals to your water. Forgive someone even if they don't deserve it. And do one thing, just one thing that brings you raw, unapologetic joy. Because joy is strength, and strength is health, and health is life. And your heart, your magnificent, miraculous heart, deserves nothing less. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful stories and life-changing insights. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a moment that could inspire your journey. Support means everything. Thank you for being part of this community.